If the Batman doesn't get a sequel, then there's something wrong. Not something wrong with like the movie or Hollywood or whatever. I mean something like the moon has crashed into the earth, killing everybody because Patrick Wilson couldn't or wouldn't stop it. You know, that kind of wrong. God damn you, Patrick Wilson. Did you want this to happen in support of your co-star Halle Berry's own DC movie not getting a sequel? That's pretty petty, Patrick Wilson. I thought better of you. All that aside, yes, the Batman is getting a sequel, so I thought, hey, I'm going to gather up all the info currently known about this sequel, plus a bunch of speculation about what was left on the table at the end of the movie, and then I'm going to present it to you here in video form. So leave a like, because I don't know, man, just do it. We made the video, so just do the like thing. Now, the initial idea of the Batman was to make it an absolutely solid, standalone story that exists as a singular narrative in its own universe. I would say that ended up being like 98% true until we hit, the very last moments of the movie. But let's get into some potential villains we might see. Director Matt Reeves has talked about how this universe is very much grounded in reality. There's no magic or aliens or man-bat-men, and it will for the foreseeable future remain that way. One of the villains that you'd think wouldn't work in this setting would be Mr. Freeze. But according to Matt Reeves, he'd be very much into him making an appearance. He said, Mr. Freeze, that's such a great story, right? I think there's actually a grounded version of that story which could be really powerful and could be really great. I just feel drawn to finding the grounded version of everything. So to me, it would be a challenge in an interesting way to try and figure out how that could happen. If they were to do this, I guess a comparison could be made to how Nolan used Bane and, changed his power set to just a fairly strong man with a crippling painkiller addiction. And there's definitely a way to make Victor Freeze work in a real-world way that's hopefully not just, there's a scientist and, he doesn't have a jacket, so he's very cold and also he's mad about it. Robert Pattinson has also talked about one of his favourite comic book runs he'd like to see with Den of Geek, that being the Court of Owls from 2011. I'd love to do something like Court of Owls, he said. Bruce thinks it's his city in a weird sort of way. He thinks he's kind of built it. He's got all the money and the castle, and he'll soon learn in this movie that he has absolutely no control or power over anything in the city. I was of the belief that there was a larger looming threat over Gotham before this movie came out beyond the Riddler, and I rolled the dice on it being Court of Owls. That was not the case, but I'd love it if this was an organization that could be explored down the line. Maybe not in the second movie, seeing as, we just started this series and there already was a sinister underlying threat to Gotham. And, the idea of then revealing an even bigger threat when Batman hasn't even got a handle on the initial threats, seems maybe a little premature to me. And maybe, I was wrong about the Court of Owls thing. Maybe I was wrong. I'm sorry. But maybe, in a few years I'll end up being right and I'll be vindicated and everyone will think I'm a hero. Maybe that's what's going to happen.
I was definitely kind of thinking Court of Owls is probably going to be in the sequel. It definitely seems like... Say it! Mommy, I'm literally just guessing. I just keep saying it.
Court of Owls would be dope.
So, the Joker is in this movie. He's all, ha-ha! You and me are best friends, the Riddler, which is ridiculous. Everybody knows the Riddler's best friend is Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face. Anyways, this scene does appear to be the movie's most direct hint about what villain we're going to see next. It's basically the Batman gets a Joker card in Batman Begins, turned up to 11, considering that this role has already been cast with a name actor. That being said, a sequel focused around the Joker is absolutely not confirmed. Matt Reeves has said as much.
And so it changed the movie dramatically. So the scene is not meant to be there to say here's an Easter egg. The next movie is X. I don't know that the Joker would be in the next movie, but I can tell you that here's what you're seeing is an early days version of this character, and trouble, as always, is brewing in Gotham.
But we'll see. We'll see. Because what we could really be getting is... So Year Zero is basically a retelling of Batman's origin story in the New 52 era. The city of Gotham is destroyed by a flood that started because the Riddler exploded the Gotham City reservoir. If that sounds familiar, it's because A, you already knew about this story, or B, that's pretty much exactly what ends up happening at the end of the Batman. The city is isolated, flooded, and in chaos. In both versions. In the comic book story, when the Riddler takes over, he's subjecting people to assorted riddles and the like, and Batman has to take him on with a new batsuit and a bow and arrow and a motorcycle. And this new version of Batman that we got, he already has some of those things. Producer Dylan Clark also said when talking to comicbookmovie.com that he suspects the next movie will go a bit further than Year 2. So doing a Year Zero story might fit? Or maybe even something like Batman No Man's Land from 1999, which tells a similar-ish story, that being Gotham is isolated after an earthquake and divided among its criminal empires. Which is also sort of what happened in The Dark Knight Rises, but everyone hates that movie now because it's not the newest movie, which is how fandom works. There's also been conversation about what other DC characters could show up in the near future. Robert Pattinson actually talked to Screen Rant about his thoughts on Robin. He said, "Yeah, but he has to be 13. That's the only way I'll accept it. No, I love Death in the Family and stuff, but I think it'd be so cool. Also, people are so scared of it, but it's kind of exciting. I think it would be a really fun addition." So in the past, Robin has been done badly or weirdly in live action movies, except for the 60s version, which is 100% perfect, no criticisms, what a delight. Christopher O'Donnell was 25 when he first played Robin, but was supposedly school-aged. Also, did you know this? I just learnt this, that it came down between him and Leonardo DiCaprio. So the studio asked a bunch of 11-year-olds who they liked out of the two, and they chose Chris O'Donnell. That is wild. But anyway, in the Nolan universe, Robin John Blake was a full-grown man and police officer who also carried a gun, which, again, none of which is very Robin. But the idea of introducing Robin properly and everything great and awful that comes with him, that is fascinating to me. It has been done well multiple times in other mediums, and I think if you really leaned into the why would Bruce Wayne do this, it could be really interesting. Because, he feels empathy for this boy because they both lost their parents under horrific circumstances, one of which being because of Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face. Oh, how embarrassing. That's so embarrassing. But, Bruce Wayne doesn't know how to be a father outside of training a person to kick somebody incredibly hard. And he's sending this child out every night to be shot at by lunatics when he should be trading Pokemon cards, or at the very least, staying home and watching people open Pokemon cards on YouTube, which is what some of you will no doubt be doing after you finish watching this video. Matt Reeves has also spoken about the introduction of Superman into this universe with Collider, where he said, "I think if that challenge ever presents itself, it would be an exciting one to explore." That, I should point out, is off the back of him also saying, "I suppose it's not impossible to believe that somewhere down the line, they could connect to something else. But that was not my interest in this. And it's not in my interest of what we would do in follow-ups at the moment either. If suddenly, in the Batman world, you discover that there's an alien that was Superman, there'd be a lot of shock. And maybe that would be the one fantastical element. But to be honest with you, that's not the intention at this point, to figure out how to make that come." Now, I absolutely get why he wouldn't want to introduce Superman at this point. Once you batter that door down, it opens up the world in a lot of ways, not all of which would be beneficial to the kind of universe that maybe he'd want to build. A lot of Batman universes also, they operate with the idea that there is a Superman out there, probably, maybe. For example, he is name-dropped in Batman and Robin. And before Suicide Squad kills the Justice League, which is apparently also set in the Arkhamverse, there were a number of hints that indicate Superman does exist, even though we never see him. I don't know what my point is here. I guess that I'm fine with it if he never shows up, or if he does show up, that's also fine. That is my hard and fast stance on this situation. One thing that we didn't see any of in the Batman is the idea of this fake socialite Bruce Wayne persona, something we got a lot of in the Dark Knight trilogy. He's the kind of guy in the Batman where if you met him, you'd go, "Oh, this guy's so odd, and almost certainly Batman." Zoe Kravitz actually talked to Fandango about this when she said, "Bruce is such a recluse in the film. To see Bruce evolve into the person that knows he has to perform and be on a yacht with some, that's a really fun journey to go on." I guess also it would become a necessity at some point for the Robert Pattinson version to adopt, this additional persona to throw people off. So, when people meet him, they're like, "This guy can't be Batman. He's an idiot." I mean, Batman is also an idiot because why would you do any of the things he does? But he's a different kind of idiot, it seems. And there is no way that this guy who's just fallen into a fountain just now in front of me, he definitely couldn't be these two distinct kinds of idiot. Now, I know I said up top, that they were really focusing on getting this one movie right before going on to make any sequels or spin-offs and the like. And whilst that is probably true, it also certainly isn't true because there's been so many prequels and sequel shows lined up even before this movie came out. There was the Gotham City Police Department series that was revealed in 2020, which would focus on Batman's first year of Batmaning about, but it would be through the eyes of Jimothy Gordon. And it's also said to have a lot in common with the Gotham Central comic book series, potentially. The working title of that show is said to be Arkham, but that is not to be confused with a potential other series that is confirmed to exist and to focus on Arkham Asylum. But I also looked into things and these two shows might actually be the same show? I await further clarification, and then I will contact you personally when I have any solid information. Just leave a comment below, and then when I know, you'll know by me responding to said comment. Then there's, of course, the Colin Farrell Penguin series, which is said to chronicle his rise through the criminal underworld. Colin Farrell is confirmed to return, and they're apparently hoping to give it an R rating, because you can on HBO Max. You can do all sorts of rude swears. Then, of course, there's the idea of a Catwoman spin-off with Zoe Kravitz. Now, very early days on this, Nothing confirmed by any stretch. But I tell you what, I wouldn't mind seeing something akin to the Catwoman Long Halloween spin-off, which is set in Rome. I think the idea of taking that character out of Gotham and exploring an entirely different environment would be cool. And you could do all sorts of stealing and vigilanteism and parkour in the city of Rome. You could even call it Cat-Assassin's Creed. That's copyright Mr. Sunday Movies, March 2022. I now own that name. Nobody steal it. I'll be so mad. Anyways, is there anything else you think could potentially happen in the sequel? There's a few references to Thomas Elliot and Hush and other bits and pieces kind of floating around in this movie. Give us your comments and let us know what you think. And by us, I mean me and Mason, because Mason has been sitting here listening intently this entire video.
This whole time. Crazy, right?
I kept on prompting him. I'm like, say something. I'll say something, and then you say something.
And I'm like, no, I'm having a little tantrum. No.
But yeah, give us your comments. Oh, he stopped talking again.
No, I love comments though. Pretty good.
And that's all of the things for now. But not all of the things that we do at this channel. For example, our spoiler review for The Batman is actually happening this Monday on our podcast, The Weekly Planet. That's going to be a full-blown discussion about everything the Batman, the things we liked, the things we didn't. My goodness, I have so much to say. I cannot wait to talk about it. You can find that on its own YouTube channel. It's also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and whatever's, it's out there. But if you would like to actually listen to that episode pretty much about now when this video goes up on Sunday, the Weekly Planet podcast episodes go up there early at bigsandwich.co if you do want to check it out. There's also movie commentaries and bonus podcasts and early videos and a comic book club and all sorts of other things going on there if you do want to sign up. It's basically like our Patreon, except, we own the website. Anyways, thanks for watching this. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in hell. Sorry, I'll see you in another video in hell.